Hello, this is Chuck Bridgman. Hello, this is Chuck Bridgman.
Hey Chuck, this is Scott and Jason.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Just great. Kind of. We're supposed to get snow again, but hopefully it's the last hurrah for winter. How are things going down there?
They're going pretty good.
You guys must have sold a lot of gas this winter.
We did.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So I see you guys signed in. And what we want to do today is set up the forms so they have that authentication to them. I.e., we populate the meter IDs, the 2 meter IDs and the street address from the GIS data.
Okay.
So that we have valid values. Values, boy, that's a tough one to say. Valid values in the input form. So let's go ahead. What I was going to do is share, put you guys down, Jason as presenter, and let you share your desktop so we can go into the Freeance configuration software.
Okay.
Okay. So I made you guys presenter. I'm not sure who's driving, Jason or Brian, but if you can go to the top left and hit share and share desktop. All right, excellent.
So we need to remote on it.
You guys might have 2 screens. The screen I'm seeing is a big yellow one with an audio conference down in the bottom left.
Yeah, that's the right one.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so let's bring up a browser, and I don't know if you know, but I'll tell you, the Freeance configuration works best with Chrome or Firefox. The Internet Explorer, like with any other web services, is just a little funky here and there as far as displaying pull downs and so forth. So I don't know if it's possible to grab something other than Internet Explorer.
We'll have to install it.
We could. Yeah, it'd probably be best to grab another one if you can. And while we're doing this, usually Sagar sits in and helps you guys, but I'm the stand-in today. What devices are they using out in the field? Is it the Android tablets or phones?
They would either be using iPhones or iPads.
Oh wow, I was wrong. Wrong on both counts. Okay. When they're using the iPads, it's not the minis, it's the full ones.
Yeah, we've only got full iPads.
Okay. Now, Jason and Brian, you guys are the ones who sat in on this last time, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. because I know, I know where the stuff is, the stuff. The thing that is off-site that is at our location is the map service. And that's where we're going to be grabbing GIS data to populate the forms. So I know where that is hanging on my servers, but I'm going to be leaning just a little bit on you guys. I didn't completely dig through all the notes of where the stuff is on your side, like the SQL Server databases. Oh no, you guys are using the Postgre databases.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping you guys remember and know where that stuff is. All I'm hearing is silence on your side.
Yeah, I was just in the phone in Chrome.
Okay, so you do know where that stuff is, of course, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. So has the weather warmed up down there?
That's all right. It's a little cold.
So after we get this up and going, I'd like to almost take a trip down there again and go out in the field with the guys and get feedback and so forth. Maybe even do a little training. But I'm even more motivated if I get out of the cold weather up here. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. This has been installed. I was sitting there waiting for it. That was really quick. Okay. So we're in Chrome browser. So let's go. Which machine?
Still IEM.
Is it? I thought it was. Oh, okay. It is, isn't it? All right. Is it still loading, or?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like it's doing anything.
Yeah.
Install, hit the download, install, run. There's a thing at the very top that says if your download does not begin, click here. I don't want to waste too much time on this, but see where it says click here to retry? Nope. Oh, okay. What's the OS on this?
Windows 8.
Windows 8? And are we setting on the machine with I think if you just hit the download right there in the middle of the screen. And this is the machine where Freeance is at?
No, this is just a webinar machine.
Okay.
We can remote desktop into the Freeance machine.
Okay, good. That's what we. Oh well, we don't necessarily have to remote it. You can hit. Because the Freeance configuration is web-based, we don't have to remote in. We can bring up a server. I mean, we can bring up a browser like we're doing here, and type in the IP for the Freeance server and hit it through a web service. And that way, it's kind of nice. We don't have to go through the remote. But I thought we were sitting on. But that's okay. I thought we were sitting on the Freeance server. This thing just doesn't seem, is this downloading or?
Yeah, it's downloading.
Okay. Okay, so the Freeance server, what, is that 2008? The OS?
2012.
2012?
I'm not completely sure.
We're going to find out, aren't we? And do you guys know the IP for that?
No, there's something else.
If we can find that one out too. Now, when you guys, when you hit this and bring it up on your iPhones and iPads, are you going through a VPN or is this a port that you're hitting? Is this an open port?
I think we can go into VPN.
Okay.
Okay, I got Chrome now.
Okay, excellent. All right, so normally what we do here is we would type in, like, go up to the address bar and clean it out and type in demo3.freeance.com, demo3.freeance.com /Freeance Mobile /config and hit enter on that. Okay, so this is the Freeance config for one of my machines. Okay? Mm-hmm. So this is just showing you how we don't have to remote in. We can hit it. So if you know the domain name or the IP, instead of you take out the demo3.freeance.com and type in whatever that is. And you can hit this from Starbucks.
Yeah, let me look.
There we go. Okay, and that's right. Okay, so this is some security we have. Hold on just a moment. So what it's saying is this IP is not allowed to hit that server. So this is some security on our part so that somebody from Starbucks can't go in and open this up and mess with your stuff. So what we do is we need to go in just this one time. We need to go into the remote server for Freeance and open up the config from there and type in this IP to add this IP, this machine's IP that we're staring at right now, to the IP access so this machine can get in. And if you guys want to work from home, you would add your IP from home. And if you want to work from another machine. So this is, we'll go in and add some IPs, specifically this machine's IP, so that only specific machines can get into the Freeance config. So let's go ahead on this machine, hit the start button, and let's do an IP config, and let's find out the IP for this machine and write it down. So I want to go into the start program. I guess that might be on another screen. I'm not seeing it. And just do the command line and do IP config and rattle off what the IP is for this machine.
Yeah, well, it's on. It's the restricted IP.
So is it that 10.1.60.16?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the IP for this local machine. Okay, cool. All right, now we have to remote into the Freeance server. And I'm sure we can do that from this machine, right? Okay. So are you trying to remote in on another screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you can share that one. Or move it over to the, or slide. I think you hit that.
I may not have it set up for remote desktop. Let's see. I don't have anywhere on here.
Okay, so, here's what, maybe I could show you, here's what I want to show you what we want to do. Come back to this browser that is saying it can't get into this server. And go back, hit the back key, because I want to go back to, I want to go back to my Freeance. There we go, okay. Oop. Just type in demotree.freeance.com. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Go ahead and type in Freeance for the username. I want to show you how to do this, and maybe we can run over to, and type in, now your password is going to be admin. Your password is going to be admin, but this one's not. So go back and hit try again. Or log in, whatever one it is. Type in Freeance. And the password is Teddy Girl, TEDDY Girl, one word, Teddy Girl, and hit login. Oop, that should be it. Try again, Freeance and Teddy Girl, TEDDYGIRL, Teddy Girl, one word. All right, there it is. Okay, so this is what I want to show you how to go over to your machine and do. So go down to the security in the middle, the left column in the middle, and hit that config IP access. See security on the left column? IP access, yeah, hit that. Okay, so we want it right in your machine. It's going to be blank up there. You're not going to have any showing. Okay? So you're going to hit the add button. Go ahead and hit the add on the bottom. Go ahead and hit the add down on the bottom. And you're going to type in that 10.1.60.16. Just go ahead and type it in, 10.1.60.16. Okay, just hit OK. And you see that, and that'll add that IP. Now, if you wanted everybody in the world to access this machine from different IPs, you type in that ********. That lets, those are 4 wildcards, so everybody can hit it. If you wanted to have just like everybody on your local area network, you'd probably type in 10.1.60.***. That's probably would be everybody in your local network can hit it then. So you see how you can put stars in there for wildcards?
Yes.
So you want to go over to the Freeance server and do what we just did. So we can get into, well, you're not going to be able to do it from here because it's going to say your IP is not,
Yeah, I had it.
Oh, you just did it. Okay, man. That's quick. Okay. Cool. Go ahead and close that other browser, that first tab down. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm just curious, did you remote in to do that or somebody run over there?
I went over there.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's type in Freeance for the username. And admin. Okay, if you want to change that, it's under security, and you hit user accounts. And see that default? You know, you can change that, you can add one, or you can delete the existing one, or just hit default. If you hit the username default, you'll see it. So, go ahead and just cancel out of this. So we showed you a little bit about security. Okay? So now, let's go into the map resource. Or I tell you what, let's kind of work backwards for my sake. So I want to look at your profile and then your map config, and then we'll go into the map resource. So towards the bottom, let's start on the bottom and we'll go up. Hit the select create profile. Oh, you don't have any. I thought you guys did this. Is this a new? Go up and hit map resources. Is this a new install? Guys?
Or we on which are, because we did it on the test.
Oh, you want me to do the test one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to set that up, hang on.
Okay.
So we're on. Just one second.
Okay. You guys scared the hell out of me. I thought we hadn't done anything yet. Wait a minute. Okay, so that's this is going to be your production server, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Tom, let me think. Yeah, keep going over to your test server, but what I was thinking is you could actually, yeah, okay, just over to your, so you have a whole other system it's a mirror of this one, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Hey, can you, is that Brian talking?
It is.
Brian, can you, I can't see it because it's blanked out on my screen. It might be blanked out on yours, too. Can you hit the introduction on the top left? On the top left command. Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look for the version number. Is it have a version number on the top of the browser, like release 5.2. whatever?
Don't see it.
Yeah, it's blanked out because of the. I tell you what, can you minimize? If this browser looks like it's maximized, can you not minimize it completely, but make it a smaller window? There we go. Huh, why is Chrome... Can you just put your cursor over the address bar? No, if it's not doing it. I thought, usually other browsers will list. Tell you what, can you type in can you copy this address? Can you copy this in the address bar, copy that address? And then click on Internet Explorer after I badmouthed it. Click on Internet Explorer and paste that address. So that's not, why the heck isn't this showing me So it's not listing the version anywhere on the top, is it?
Not that I can see.
Huh. It must be, that's odd. Okay, go ahead and close that Internet Explorer one and just leave the Chrome up. Okay. Alright, so now we're going into the test server. Excellent, okay. Freeance, admin, alright, rock on. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so let me write this down. The config is map profile. That's the name. Profile. Okay, go ahead and hit map profile. Click on the map profile name there in blue. Okay, so the mapping is gas utility. Okay, so that's the map resource. Okay, so go up a little higher on the left and hit multi-platform map config. Right in the middle, that multi-platform map config. Okay, so there's gas utility. Go ahead and open up that. We're going to see what the map resource is. So I'm just kind of working backwards here. Give it a moment. It's got to read a bunch of GIS stuff. Okay, so the map resource is hosting map. Okay, so resource, and this is multi-map. I'm just writing this stuff down for my resource and map config. Okay, resource. All right, now, okay, so we got all this stuff. All right, let's go into map resources on the top left. Very top, hit map resource, and let's go into hosting map. And this should be pointing at our server, demo 3. And that's correct. So we just give it a moment here to load. It's going to load up. It's just reading from Dayton. And what we did here is we made another map resource. So if you scroll down here, you'll see the layers. And we added, well, actually all these layers look good. Although I don't see Greer polygons. All I see is that Spartanburg. Is that the parcel layer for the whole county? The Spartanburg?
I would assume that that's just Spartanburg County and not Greenville County.
Not Greer. Is that correct?
Well, Greer is in Greenville County, so it should be named Greenville, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't see, so you guys are a little in Spartanburg County, huh?
We're about split half and half, Spartanburg and Greenville.
Okay, so what I don't see in here is I don't see the Greer, but that's okay. Actually, what we're going to do here is we're going to use a different map service that we made, that we worked up. Okay? So, we've got this map service. Go ahead and hit cancel. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new map service. So go ahead and hit add. And we're going to hit the new map service that we made. So let's call this one. You know, this is my personal preference, but I like to tell it to everybody. We named that last map resource, and this is not you guys. I mean, Sagar probably did it, but we named it hosting map. And what that does is that doesn't really tell me crap about what map service that is. So what I like to do is I like to name the map resource what the actual map service is, so that it's not a mystery to me. You know, when I look at map hosting, I don't know really, unless I wrote it down, what that is. So I name the resource. That's the last thing I do. So let's go in and not name it first, but hit the map resource type and hit that pull down right underneath it and give it .net, ArcGISServer.net. And the server address is the same. It's demo3.freeance.com. .freeance.com. And the port is 6080. 6080. Okay, now let's go list available services over on the right. Over on the right, hit list available services. Okay, this takes a moment. It's reading my server. You'll see a bunch of stuff here. It just takes a little bit to read the server. There's just a ton of map services here. Come on.
Seems like we had to have y'all change that port to port 80 last time because I don't think we have 6080 open on our end.
But I just, So go ahead and, I tell you what, go ahead and try. Try to take out 60 and put in 80, 60, 80, and just type in 80. And hit list available. Now that's, hit cancel. You got the right idea. I think Jason's got the right idea. Let's look at that one and see what it says. It's port 80. Demo 3. Production Greer. What the heck?
The server URL is different.
Oh. Go ahead and copy that. No, go ahead and copy it. And let's try it. Add a new one. And hit list available resources. Okay. Okay, so here's our new, you're looking at, there's our new, hold on a second before you hit it. Yeah, go ahead and click it. Greer Gas Distribution Mobile, that's the one we just made. And here's what I do. I name it that. I mean, now go up and type in that resource. Type in that, the exact thing. That way, I know that resource is that map service, and I don't get confused. Okay, so go ahead and hit apply. All right, beautiful. Now we'll wait a second, it's reading the layers and so forth. Go ahead on the bottom there, you see the search on the bottom right? Go ahead and hit that, because we've got to click on the search, and that's your projection. You know, all maps, the GIS data comes in decimal degrees. Well, that doesn't do us any good because my data is in a projection, state plane projection or Mercator or whatever. And what we can do is go ahead and click on the blue Web Mercator. Click it on. And to test this, what I do is I put my cursor on the map, and just let it set. Take my hand off the map, and see how the lat long came in. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you guys are mappers and you know your lat long, but I kind of know what your lat long is, and that's correct. Now, if we would have saw something like 160 by 93, we would have gone, whoa, we haven't got the right projection. So if that's just a quick check that I did get the right projection. And if you look at the bottom there, we got Greenville and Spartanburg for layers.
Yeah.
And you'll notice another thing here too is we've got that street layer. That's a new layer that John sent to us. So that new street layer I can do something new with. Can you scroll up to the top? Okay, so why we wanted that street centerline layer is because I want guys to be able to type in a street address and zoom to it. And that's called geocoding. So go towards the top and hit that geocode option. And it found it already. It found that service. So do you see the GCPW street centerline?
Mm-hmm.
Go and click that pull down and you'll see a couple addresses there. There's one for Huber Heights, that's a local municipality. You'll see one for City Works. You'll see another one at MC, that's Montgomery County. So it's letting you select different street centerline locators. And it's already defaulted to Greer just because of alphabetical order. So just go ahead and click on that Greer. And it's all set up already. All we have to do is hit apply. So now we've got a geocode service. And you'll notice another thing too when the map comes in here. It just takes a moment for it to load. We turned on not only the street center lines, but we turned on the gas distribution so the guys out in the field can kind of quickly see where is their service. Okay, so it's kind of a little better initial map. Okay, so we did some touches. So let's go ahead and hit the apply button. Okay, and go ahead and hit save. Okay, now let's go into the multi-platform map configs over in the middle left. Okay, so this is kind of a three-step process. We go in, and we make a map resource, and then we make a multi-platform map config, and then we put in the profile. So there's that gas utility. You can go ahead and click it. And this is kind of our old one. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to let people select valves and gas and text and subdivisions and street center line. We're probably going to change those selection sets a little. And then map legends down on the bottom, that's showing you what we're doing. So we're going to, and then you see the geocoding is off, disabled. Try to enable the geocoding. Okay. So now we can enable that because we've got a map geocode, but we're not going to do anything in this one because this map service isn't set up the way we want to use it. That's why we created that new one. So go ahead and hit cancel out of this. And let's add a new one. Okay, let's not name it first. Let's use my rule of thumb. Let's name it after we set it up. So hit the map resource ID, and it's Greer Gas Distribution Mobile. That's what I would name also this multi-platform map config. So what's nice about this for me, just because I'm old and forget stuff, is now I've got the same name for the map resource and the map config and the profile name. So it's real easy for me to go, I know exactly what that map resource is. You know, that's 3 steps back. I know exactly what it is. Okay? So let's go ahead and hit apply. Okay. So now we're going to do a couple things here. Probably the first thing that's the most important is when the guys identify GIS data, meaning when they click once on the map, what do I want them to identify? So let's go in the middle to the map feature selection. This lets people click once on the map and see GIS data, identify it. So hit that pull down right there where it's gas. Okay, and you see we've got valves and meters, and the and just the gas, that's the main. I kind of wish we would have renamed that main, but we can go do that. And then there's also Greenville and Spartanburg. So what stuff do people want to identify? Well, I guarantee they want to identify valves. So go ahead and hit just valves and hit add selection. Okay. And this is, do we want to rename that? See the GIS, the label, the layer label? We could rename that. If this is something cryptic, I could just take out that CPW. I could just put in gas valves. You know, rename this just to make it look a little nicer. You could even take out the underscore. You know, just make it look pretty for these guys. Put a space in. Now, the GIS display field, we probably, you know, the object ID, that is a default indexing column that ArcGIS puts in. Doesn't mean anything to your guys. What means something is that those IDs. So scroll down a little. Keep going down. See the facility ID? That might mean something to them. Hit that open that up again. I thought there was a what was the name? What's the name of that? Scroll up a little. There was another ID that you guys knew.
Device ID or something.
There's
Feature ID.
I don't know if it's feature ID. I wonder. We can always change this. It's very easy to change down the field. But what you want to do is select something that's meaningful to the guys in the field. Let's just use it. Let's just go feature ID. I got a feeling that is the feature ID. I got a feeling that's the CityWorks ID, unique identifier. Doesn't mean anything to them either. I bet you it's, hit it one more time. And I bet you it's device UID. Just don't know. Anyway, we can always change that. Now, hit the style sheet pull down. And this is when they identify a valve. How is it highlighted? You know, kind of the default is that diamond red diamond. And you can pick that. That's usually a good one. Or you can pick a big point star. So this is just how it's highlighted. Maybe call it a red square. Either one. I don't care. Okay. Now, the selection result form, there's another tab on the top. Hit that second tab. When they do hit a valve, this is the data that comes up. And it's displayed to them. Okay? You can move stuff up and down. You can delete it. You can rename it. So scroll down, and there's always stuff that we like to get rid of that's just kind of junk that sometimes comes up, but it actually doesn't look like it's here. So scroll down, all the way down. So that would be like the shape and the length, and there's other GIS data that it didn't come in this time, so we don't have to get rid of it. Now, Did Sagar go over this with you the first time? There's some formatting we may want to do here. Like go to the bottom, and I saw some date fields. And I saw where did I see a date? Yeah, you got it. Where did I see a date field? Install date, second, third from the bottom. Warranty date, yeah. Click on the edit for that, and it's not a text, it is a date. And just go ahead and hit apply. Now, a little nuance, a little trivia here. If we were in Internet Explorer, that pull down that we were just in doesn't populate. It's just a known issue with Internet Explorer. Every single browser in the world works correctly, but Internet Explorer, you wonder why Microsoft just can't crush Google and Apple. It's just little stuff like that. But anyway, that's why we're not in Internet Explorer. Okay, so another thing is that image path. That's really, and you might want to do that with all the dates, the condition date and the warranty date. Now, what's really cool here is that image path. That's probably an as-built or a tap card or something for this valve. What is it? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
Okay. So what that is, and we won't do it now, but I'll show you how to. Okay, so we need to know what that looks like, and we'll figure that out in a moment. But let's just pretend we know what it is, and that image path is a directory for a photo of that valve, or PDF as-built, or even like maybe a video, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make a hyperlink so that the guys can hit that and see that image, that as-built, that PDF, that tap card, that photo of the valve that somebody took before they buried it. So what we want to do is we want to scroll to the top and hit the Object ID pull down. And scroll all the way to the bottom, and we're going to see some special things. We're going to see image, browser link, pictures. Now, we don't know whether that's a browser link or an image. I'm going to hit, I'm going to say, let's call it a browser link. Hit browser link and hit add. And scroll all the way to the bottom again, and you can see that's now another field that's going to be displayed. Let's go ahead and edit that browser link. And let's say it's going to be, we'll just pretend, we're going to say it's a HDMI, or HDMI. It's going to be an link. It's going to be a web link. So for the text, we're going to put test-freeance. Type in for the text the server name up there. Go copy and paste it or type it in or whatever. And then GreerCPW.com, and then put a / on it. Okay, and now hit add, hit the add button. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're building either a path to where the image is or an HTML path. Now the field is going to be, let's pretend it's the image path. Yep, hit add. And let's pretend that image path it's a PDF and it didn't have PDF at the end. It's just a unique identifier. So in the text, we're going to type in .pdf and then add that. And you see right there we made a dynamic HTML link. So I think you guys are smart enough to understand I can make a HTML dynamic link or just an image path dynamic, whatever I want. Go ahead and hit apply. And now we don't want to put in browser link. We want to put in as-built image or PDF as-built image or whatever the guys are going to understand out in the field if it's those two. Okay? Now that angle, I guarantee, see that angle above? That is the GIS angle that John Odom put in there for the text. I'd delete it. Doesn't mean anything to the guys out in the field. They're just going to confuse them. They're going to go, is that the angle of the valve for closing it? No, it's just junk in there for the GIS display. So that's an example of something you want to get rid of. Okay, so that's how we make this stuff look pretty. And that's about it for this. So go ahead and hit apply. Okay, so now we let them select valves. Let's quickly go in there and hit the pull down for meters. And just add meters. And change the display layer to, yep, that's smart, good. Change it not to object ID, but I guarantee I know these. This is where we've got, yeah, whatever, you got it. And then I would just hit, we kind of showed you how to do that selection result. You can open it up, but this is the way the stuff looks. So you just hit apply if you want. And let's go and grab, let's add gas. Yep, that's going to be the main. And I would rename this gas main. And you can always go back and change this. It's really easy to do. Okay, so I bet you they're going to want to also click on, so we got the 3 gas things. I bet you they're also going to want to identify on parcels, because I'd love to see that John Smith actually lives here before I turn off his gas. And I'm not turning off Barney Rubble's gas. So I'd let them select the Greenville and the Spartanburg polygons. I would call this, what, Greenville parcels or Greenville landowners or, yeah, there you go. And probably the display might be like owner name, maybe owner name. Whatever. It's easy enough to go back and change this. And then let's select one more, Spartanburg. And I'd say that's good. That's what the guys want to see out in the field. Wow, so you can see these are a little different, aren't they?
Yep.
Okay, now, let's do a couple easy ones on the bottom. Let's follow me. Let's just turn that on. That lets you, like Google Maps, zoom your GPS location. Now, let's go ahead and let's kind of save our work. Let's hit apply. All right. Now, I want to show you one thing towards the top. See that image overlap? Hit that pull down. Now, what this does is this draws extra map to the side of my display. So what this does is if I hit 2, if I clicked on the 2, it's going to draw on the top and the bottom and the left and the right of my iPad a whole other map, so that when I grab my finger and I pan over, I continuously see map. You know, it doesn't stop and redraw as much. And you would think, hey, that's a really good thing. I want to put that on 2 for everybody, because now it's doing a lot of caching. But the only trouble with, on a big iPad or an Android or a tablet, that's a huge amount of data. And they've got a big iPad already so they can see all the map they want. So when you're on a big display like an iPad tablet, go down to 1. Click 1, because I really don't want to sit there and have them wait forever. Maybe I want to do 1.1. Give them a little overlap. Now, when I'm on a phone, it's the exact opposite. I'm drawing a really little map, and it comes in really quick, and I can display, I can cache a whole map. So sometimes what people do is they'll make 2 configurations. Go ahead and hit apply here. And hit add. Right down there, hit add. And what they'll want to do is they'll make a new map called Greer gas distribution, and they'll iPhone instead of tablet, and they'll make that map resource overlap a 2 just for the phone, so the guys on the phones have a better action with caching than the tablet guys. So that's just, hit cancel out of this. So it's just kind of explaining a little bit about that. That's what that, hit Greer gas distribution again. That's what that image overlap does. Go small for a big tablet, go big for a phone. Okay. Here's what I'd like to do now is, I'd like to see this map come up on your VPN. Have you guys got a mobile device that you can EPN and bring this up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's okay, while he's going to get one, go ahead and hit apply. There's one more thing we got to do. In the profile, on the bottom left, the profile, we've got to add, hit profile, hit select create profile, and go into map profile, and we need to add this. You know, there's our old one, gas utility. We might want to delete that, but we definitely want to add this, and let's call it something that the guys will understand. Mobile gas distribution. What are the guys going to understand? And then under the description, I would say meters, valves, and mains. Okay? Now, okay, that's cool. Now if somebody somebody run off to get a device?
Yeah, Brian's got one now.
Okay. What type of VPN are you guys using? Cisco. Okay. All right, so let's turn our VPN on. Is it with just the test one? Did you guys get authorization to give us access to the VPN? So we can look at this from our end also? Or is that something you guys got to check out? Because I'd love to look at this also. Otherwise, I'm kind of flying blind.
Okay.
Is that something you got to check?
No, I mean, we are the IT department, so it's kind of up to us, I guess. But my guy that does the firewall is out this week, so I'll have to get it to you next week.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I'll just fly blind. Okay, so go in and turn on your VPN and go into MapView. You guys don't have on this computer. You don't have. I'll tell you something that's really neat. Let me share my desktop for a second. I want to show you. Do you guys know about Reflector? Have you ever heard of that software?
No.
Okay. Let me show you something. Let me share my desktop. This is really handy for the IT shop. Let me share my desktop. And do you see my desktop now?
Yeah.
Okay. There's this software that's great. I love it. It's called Reflector. It's either free or it costs $9. I can't remember which one. Just do a Google for it, Reflector. Maybe Reflector iOS. And what this allows you to do is, you can see now I've got a little memory resident thing, Reflector. And now what I can do is, if my iPhone or iPad is on the same Wi-Fi local area network that this computer is on, I can display, let me quickly go to it. I can display my, come on, I can display very easily my iPhone. See how that just came up? No software on the iPhone. It's really cool. I mean, it's a simple little program, and there's no software on the iPhone, and I can just project. So just go in and look for Reflector iOS. Yeah, and it's really cool. And it helps a lot. So this way we could see, if you guys are doing that, I could actually see what's up on your iPhone without having to get into your VPN. We use that a lot here, and we get our clients to jump on with that. Okay, I changed Jason back to the presenter. If you could jump back on sharing your screen.
Okay.
All right. So, did you log into the MapViewer?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you once again, I'm kind of flying blind. You go into the options page. Let me bring up mine. Okay, so because mine should be the same. I'm hitting the same thing. So I'm going to go into my MapViewer, and I go into the options page. And this is where, what do you type in for your server? You type the IP or the domain name?
Domain name.
Okay, so you typed in the domain name. Hit the load profile, and we should have, the profile should be that Greer gas utility, mobile.
Right.
Is that
correct?
I'm sorry, what was that?
That's correct.
Okay, so go ahead and hit save on that. And there should be only one map listed. go ahead and open that up. Now the first time it takes a little bit to load. And it takes a little bit to load too because you guys are coming all the way up to Dayton, Ohio. Hopefully in phase 2, when John gets his ArcGIS server up, you guys will have, the map service locally on your router. Yeah. Well, one of the things that loaded pretty quickly is we made this map service so it's kind of optimized for the mobile. So one thing we want to do is, probably the easiest to do, one thing is to click on that bullseye, and that'll turn on your GPS.
Yeah, I got it on.
And if you hit the plus, you'll start to zoom in.
Yeah, I tried that. That don't seem to work too well.
The zoom in?
Yeah, it'll zoom in, but the further you zoom in, it just becomes a big orange spot.
Yeah, well, wait till the loading stops.
Okay.
Like I said, it's just a little dragging ass because it's coming up to Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, that is.
That's going to be a lot quicker. As I said, when John and you guys get your ArcGIS server fired up down there, it's going to be a lot quicker. So as you start to zoom in, you'll see more layers come up.
Right.
And have the parcels and the meters turned on yet? First of all, you got to be zooming in to where there's some gas distribution.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So this should look pretty. Okay. So you're showing some meters, which are those. And if you zoom in a little more, the street addresses come in for the parcels. Have you zoomed in up where the street addresses show up?
Yes.
Okay, so just trying to make this a little easier for the guys. So let's go ahead. I'm going to click on I clicked once with my finger on a meter. And I'm showing that the parcel came up and the gas meter came up. Excuse me. When I clicked on gas meter, it looks like that GPS XY is probably something we can get rid of. That's not real meaningful to them, probably. And if I click on the parcel, I can see the parcel information. Boy, there's a ton of it. Okay, so are the identify working for you guys?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, now, probably, that's going to let the guys hop out of the truck, turn on their GPS, and zoom to where they're located. But if they want to zoom to a meter or a street address, we need to add that search. We need to add a search button. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and add a search so they can zoom to a meter or a street address. So I'm going to go back into my config. Okay, and I'm going to go towards the top, the top right, top left. I'm going to hit database resources. And when I do a search, I gotta do it in three steps. I got to make a database resource, I got to make a predefined query, and then make the form. How does it look for the guys? And I really only have to do database resource and the query wants. So what I want to do is go into, see the hosted map? That's my old ArcGIS service. I could change this, or I could just delete it and get a new database resource to my new map service. See, I could change the URL there. So let's probably go, you want to go ahead and delete that? We just don't want to use it. Wait, don't, okay. Maybe I didn't want to, I wanted to look at that because that gave us, do you think we know? Hit reload on the bottom. Hit reload. Okay. Let's look at that just as a cheat sheet. Let's not get rid of it. Let's just use it as a cheat sheet. Okay, so it's, let's grab that URL because that's a special URL. Copy it. And you see the server address is demo3.freeance.com port 80. So go ahead and hit cancel. And let's add a new map resource. And go ahead and hit ArcGIS server and paste in your URL. No, that's not the server address. The server address is demo3.freeance.com:80. And then the URL is where you got to paste that URL there. That's where you want to paste your URL. Now hit connect. There you go, beautiful. Okay, so hit the pull down for the ArcGIS service name. See the ArcGIS service name pull down? And we want to go to, it's that first one. It's already defaulted to it. You see how I have to also pick the one I want. And it's just dumb luck that it's numerically, it's top of the list. Now that insert, update, and delete, we have to talk to John about that. But what you could do is, if the guy's out in the field, if John wants them to, if they want to edit the GIS, maybe a meter has the wrong, or a main has the wrong diameter, or a valve has the wrong manufacturer, or the wrong condition, they could actually go in and update the GIS. They could edit the live GIS. And if you wanted them to edit the live GIS, then you can be very specific. You can say you can only edit the meter layer, and you can only edit the condition attribute. And you can only change the condition attribute from good, okay, to bad. If you wanted people to do that, you would put insert update instead of prohibited. You'd let them edit. Like hit that update for prohibited in the middle, and you'd allow that. So down the road as we let people get comfortable with this and let them do more things in the field, that's where we'd let them update the data.
Wouldn't we have to wait till it's on our ArcGIS or our own ArcGIS server?
You wouldn't. You could they could up. You're right. You could update the stuff on our server, but then we'd have to batch load it back into John's stuff.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Okay, so just put that back to prohibited. Am I going over stuff that you guys know, or are you just really smart?
No.
Okay. I don't know how much I'm trampling over what you guys already learned. But I'm just going from the top because it's, I think, good as a refresher course. Okay, so let's name this resource. And you know me, I would name it Greer Gas Mobile. And then I would put on the end, I would put AGS, because that would let me know this is not a post-grade database. It's an ArcGIS database. So I put Greer Mobile Gas AGS, and I would know right away that it's my ArcGIS service. That's what that stands for, AGIS service. Okay, so I think we're done here. All right, so now we made a database resource. Now let's go into a predefined query. Right on the left, right underneath database resource, predefined query. And let's say we're going to search for parcels. Okay, so let's hit, let's search for meters first. Let's search for meters. So a predefined query is going to be a meter SQL. I would name this one first. I would name it meter SQL. Okay, hit the pull down, your database resource, we know what this is. It's going to be, see, isn't that nice that we named it? You know exactly what you're going for. Okay, hit apply. Now we've got to build, okay, now we got to build the actual SQL. How familiar are you guys with database SQL statements?
I'm pretty familiar with it.
Okay, good. That's a lot better than me because I don't know them that well, and this is what helps me. This is kind of a point and click. So what I want to do is, see the listed layers? Those are actually tables in my database. So I want to go show the table for gas meters. Go over to the right and hit show tables.
Oh.
All right. So what I do now is I try to make life easy on me. I go in, and the first thing I do is I just go up and hit select all. Hit the select all blue text. Okay? And that's going to show me everything. Because I want to look at it. Before I build my SQL, what is in street address 1, street address 2, street address 3? What's in name? I don't know. So what I do is I go up and I hit test query, hit the blue text test query in the middle towards the top, test query. And what this lets me do is run an SQL that's going to find everything. So go ahead and execute. Let it set just a little bit. Okay, there it is. So this is showing me everything, and I can quickly see, the meter type. And I can go to ERT, and I can keep going over to the right. And I can see stuff, and I can see that the meter name, the name is, that looks like the owner name. And it's all in uppercase. And the address is the full address, and it's all in uppercase. And there's nothing in address 2 or address 3. And the meter city is...
Yeah.
Okay, but most of the time it looks blank. Okay? So this lets me see what the heck is in there. Okay, so what am I going to search on? I'm going to search on name and street address, and probably that... we kind of jumped out of it already. The facility, probably the ERT. I think the ERT is what the guys know, isn't it? That's the ID.
Mine's more like, it would probably be meter number or ID. What do you think I would search on?
What was the meter on the bottom? Can you hit the test query again? What was the meter? Hit the test query. And run and execute it. Let's look at what the meter... See, this is what's nice. What was meter all the way at the end? On the right. Scroll all the way to the right. Okay, so that's the ID that they know, isn't it?
Yeah, they would either know meter number or the number.
Okay, so let's search on 3 things. Let's search on the meter and the address and the name. Okay, so let's get...
Go What about account number? You can't have a search on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an account number field in there that probably search on as well.
Where is it? Which one is it?
Facility ID.
Okay, go ahead and hit done. Okay, so now look at facility ID is in numeric. And what I'm going to show you is I want to do a multi-field search. And what I can really only, because of SQL logic, I can really only do a multi-field search on strings. And I'll show you how and why. So I'm going to have to I want to set up a search, two searches. One that's going to search on name, address, and meter. Because those are all strings. They're all crossed. And then I'm going to have to set up a separate address for facility ID because it's numeric. Okay, so let's go in and let's start the multi-field. So let's hit name, hit the where clause for the name. You got it. Hit where clause for the name. Go to name and hit okay, so you got it. And then hit the like button because it's a string and I'm going to say like. Hit the like button. You had it right there, the like button, right in the dead middle. There you go, like. And now I've got to put the variable name. So right towards the middle left, hit the add user input field. Go type in the add user input field. No, it's right there. Type in meter. Or I'm sorry, type in, how about type in owner name or name? Because that's the name of the guy. Just type it in, owner name. Don't put any spaces or special characters because this is a SQL string. There you go. Beautiful. Now, we want to allow this to have wildcards in the front and the back, so hit allow prefix. Click on allow prefix and allow suffix. And hit add. Now, what I like to do is, I like to test the query real quick. Go ahead and hit test. Type in Smith, and then hit execute. Now what's beautiful about this is, oh, we didn't do it. Hit done. You know they're all uppercase. Get rid of that. Delete the customer name at the end of the SQL. Here's what I don't know how to do an SQL. Here's what I do. I delete that. Go ahead. Yeah, but you've got to delete it up at the SQL. You see it? Yeah, you got to delete the first one. That whole. There you go. You got it. You're golden. Now hit test, and you should be able to type in parish lowercase. Beautiful. You know, it's all about making it easy for those guys. So now, let's add the other ones. Let's hit the and button in the middle. Hit the and button. Okay, type it in. That's cool.
Then address one.
Sure. Then you're kicking ass. All right. Now, there you go. Try it. Let's try to test the query.
It should be or, right?
No, it should be and. Because the wild card, go ahead and try it. The wild card lets me type in blank because it's going to find everything. You know, if I go ahead and hit test query. It is and. It's and. Okay, hit test query and I'll explain it to you. So if you type in parish and you leave address blank, because I have a wildcard in the front and the back, it found everything. So it found only customers' names that were parish and addresses that were everything. Okay, so now scroll over to the right, and let's look at the addresses.
There should be, let me think. Monique.
There you go. Hit execute.
Yeah.
You got it. Here's another thing I would do. See that first field? That shape field? That means nothing to anybody. That's an ArcGIS increment field. So hit done. Hit the done button. And I'd unclick that shape file. See the results? I would unclick it.
Okay.
So now I would say let's add, what's the other one? The meter. Let's hit and add the meter. And do the same thing you did. And you can test it again if you want. That should be it.
Okay. So I probably don't need let me think. Yeah, probably don't.
You can add another one if you want. You want to add one more? Or?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know any meter numbers off the top of my head.
Well, what you can do is go over to look at one. Type in SC or 74SC, and you'll get. You know, it's kind of neat if they can just type in U61 and see what happens. This way, if they just know part of the meter ID, they can grab them.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys got a good grasp on this. So the only trouble is, I wish I could do this, and maybe if you're good with SQL, you could figure out the logic. I can't add a string or a numeric to that because my numeric, unless I did a greater than or equal to or less than, I got to kind of type in the whole numeric to find an exact match.
Yes. You would, yeah.
So that's why you can add a search for the string, but you have to make it separate, and they got to type in the whole thing. But you could do it. So what you would do is you just hit apply here, because you want to save this SQL. And you'd make another SQL that was meter ID only, and you'd make it an exact numeric search equal. You can go ahead and do it if you want. So go ahead, Deb, show table for that. So this is a numeric. Oh wait, that's facility. Did you do this on facility ID? That is a clause. I thought you were going to do it on a feature ID.
Oh, I didn't notice that. It's really a number, but they saved it as a.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about facility ID or feature ID, which is a numeric.
I wasn't paying attention to how the GIS saved it. It should be.
No.
But it'll work.
Yep.
I need that.
And you can always test it if you want it. it looks like you got it. Excellent. Okay. All right, go ahead and hit done. So it looks like you're a pro at this. Now, you know, the other thing that they might want to search on, although you've got the owner name and the street address, sometimes people want to search on a parcel because maybe they want to find a parcel that doesn't even have a gas. So you could go back and make a search on the parcels. That would let them, I don't know how valuable that is to the, you know, you might want to ask the end users, do you guys ever want to search on property owners that are not customers?
I don't know, would they?
Maybe if they're out doing lead survey and they find a weed somewhere, you know, on Main in front of a house that don't have gas.
See, you'd have to set up. Actually, we should have named that Greenville. You know, John's got them split. Well, he's got them split. I know why, because they're formatted different between the two counties. So you'd have to do a search in Greenville and a search in Spartanburg parcels. You know, you can always ask the guys and come back to that. I think you're pretty much pros on building SQLs. Okay, so go ahead and hit save. Yep, go ahead and hit save out of this. And now we've done step one, we've done step two. The third step we want to do is the forms configuration, middle left forms configuration. And we want to add a meter search. And this is how the form looks to the guys. We did the database link, we did the SQL. This is how the form looks to the end users. I would call it meter GIS search. And I would not, this is kind of an internal ID resource name. I wouldn't, you know, kind of no spaces, no special characters. Let's go in and, yep, you're doing right. Predefined query, yep, you're beautiful, you're golden. The key field, that's always a good one. That's always safe. The only one I would click on is continue to load on error. We don't want to let people edit yet. That may be coming down the road. Let's go ahead and, how do you want to sort the page? You know, when they find 50 meters owned by parish, how do you want to sort that? See that sort by page? Do they want to sort by owner name or meter ID? How do they want to sort that? Okay.
You can do multiple.
Yeah, you can do multiple. So hit owner name. Hit the pull down.
So if I do it by facility ID, I think it would that would be the way we want to do it.
Okay, but what this allows them to do is the top one on the default will just always default to that. But if somebody was slick out in the field and they wanted to sort by owner name, you could add that, and that would just be an option for a pull down. So they could go to owner name, the name, hit add, and see that will be the second one. That will be, they can pull that. You can delete it now, but I'm just showing you, if they ever came and said, boy, it'd be really slick to also sort by, every once in a while we'd like to sort by address or owner name.
Okay.
And that's just going to be a little pull down that lets them resort. But it's going to fault to facilities ID right now. Yep, and you might want to clean that up. you might want to get rid of that leading gas underscore meters dot. You might want to get rid of that.
Is this by, is this just a display field then?
Yeah, that's a display field. Like I say, you probably want to get rid of that stuff in the front. That doesn't mean anything to them. There you go. And then owner name. Customer, beautiful. Okay. All right, now, the input form, see that address one? You probably want to retype that to what, full street address? Or owner address, or whatever. That's good. Might want to put a space on customer name. Count. Cool.
Okay.
All right, now, those are going to be the fields. Hit the results form. So when you typed in parish, and you got that list of 14 people, or meters, I should say, you don't want to show them all 29 fields. You just want to show them a list of, go ahead and remove object ID, delete that one, and phone number, I'd delete that one, and just add name and address and meter. And that'll be a list of 3 things for those 29 users. Now you can add more if you want, but you don't want to add too many because it'll start to thicken up a phone display and you'll just get more junk there than you want. Now what's really important here on this screen is that very bottom thing. When people get 15 parishes, they want to click on the second one and zoom to it on the map. So enable that. Now, we've got to match. All this is GIS matching. It'll be very familiar to John, but the resource name is not hosting. The map resource is not hosting. I know what you guys know it is. There you go. And the layer is not bounds, but meters. We're in the meters thing. And what's always good to search on is that object ID. That is matching. That is always unique. GIS adds that. So the result field is also object ID. What you want to do is find 2 matching fields. Object ID. Okay, the object ID is a numeric field, so the quote's going to be false. But if you had the meter, it would be true because that was a string.
Okay.
The zoom ratio, number from 1 to 10, I'd go to 10. It zooms out a little more. If you're zooming in too far out, you go back and lower that. If you're zooming in too close, take it from a 2 to a 5. Okay, one other thing. One last field, the detail field. The detail field. Click on the detail form. And you guys, this looks familiar to you. You know what this is. This is when they did click on the 5th one, they have the option to zoom to the map or see the attribute ID. So this looks all familiar. This is the same thing as that identify command. You can rename stuff. If you hit the pull down, see the object ID pull down. If you hit that pull down, hey, look, there's our special fields in the bottom that people can pull up a HTML link. What's kind of neat in the parcels is that browser link. What a lot of people will do is they'll make that link go to the assessor's property record card, and then it's neat. You'll pull up a parcel, and then they can click on that, and they'll go to the Spartanburg County Assessor's property record card, and they'll see who owns it and what's the tax appraisal, and maybe an image.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and just hit apply out of this. So now we're done with that. We made the form. Okay. Go back. Now we made that search. What's nice is we can use that search over and over and over again. We don't have to go through that. we can use that search over again. So go ahead and hit Map Resources, because I want to add that search to the Map Resource. So go up to not Map Resources, but the middle one, Multi-Platform Map Config. And go into Greer Gas Distribution Mobile. And towards the middle, you'll see Smart Forms. Smart Forms. Add that search. And this is going to be search for meters. And the description is by owner, meter, and address for description. That'll give them it's going to search by meter and owner and address. Oof. All right, hit apply. So now, what we did is go back into your iPad and backspace to the options page. What you do is you hit, if you're on the map, hit the 3 buttons on the bottom right and hit the map list and hit the options. And just hit save.
Okay.
Go back into the map. And now I got a magnifying glass on the bottom left.
Right.
And I click on it, and it's got my search, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, hit my search, and type in parish. If that's what you guys were typing. Is that what you're typing, parish? Paris. No H. Did you get a result?
Yes.
All right. Now, if they click over on the left, they'll zoom to it on the map. If they click the ID button, go ahead and click the ID button, you'll see the attribute data. So click on the ID button. Did the attribute data come up?
Yes.
Okay. Hit the back button. I think it's the top left. Hit go back. Now let's click over on the left. And it should, if we did everything right, auto-magically zoom to the map.
Indeed.
So did it bring up the map?
Yes.
Cool. How did zoom in? Too close, too far away? Pretty good?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. Cool. All right, so there we did a search. I'm trying to think of what the guys would search on. Pretty much, you think they want to search on the valves? Usually you don't search on the valves. They're kind of there and you maintenance them. But you could search whatever in the map. Whether, if John starts to stick in cathodic protection and you got some of those, you could search on those. You could search on valves. I can't think of anything, this is just kind of simple to start out. I can't think of, is there anything that, hey, they got to have this search and go to?
Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah, I can't think of either. Let me show you. I'm sorry, what was that?
I think we've got what we're looking for.
Okay. Now, we went to a map. Now, what the guys want to do is the other half of this. We want to do the forms. Correct? So, let's kind of start, so I can see where you left off. let's kind of start at the back end and go forward. So go ahead and hit the select create profile on the bottom left. Select create profile on the bottom left there. And I want to look at, oh, you don't have a form up. Why don't we have a form up? Hit forms config on the left. Hit forms config. Okay, you've got a leak inspection there. Hit leak inspection. And we have this. But you guys were bringing this up on the application, weren't you?
Yes.
How the hell were you bringing this up if you didn't have a form? A profile, I should say. If you, can you go back into your iPhone? And you have the application that's, not MapViewer, but, shoot, do I not have it online? Smart Forms. You see the Freeance logo with the F, and it's called Smart Forms. Do you have to load it?
I guess. The only thing we loaded was the MapViewer, I think.
Yeah, go and load the Smart Forms. I know what they were doing. You don't have to load the Smart Forms. We were bringing the form. You can bring the form right up in the map. That's what they were doing. They were bringing this leak inspection form right up on the map. Okay, that's going to save us a lot of time. Okay, so go ahead and hit cancel out of this. Okay, and go back into the multi-platform map config. Go back into the in the middle, the multi-map. Okay, and go into Greer gas. And I want to add another smart form. I don't want to add a search. I want to add the gas leak inspection. So go ahead and name this. What, leak inspection? I'm not sure what you put down for description. That kind of already describes it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got two forms in there. We can create a leak form. They can go in there and create a leak form, or they can search on a meter. Okay, so now you go ahead and hit apply. And let's go back into that form config. Get the forms config, because I want to go back into that leak, that gas leak. Go back into forms config. Okay, and go into leak inspection. Okay, so, I'm looking at, I'm going up on the top. I hit load on config, continue to load on error. I just like doing that. Device ID field, that looks good. Object ID is all safe to go on. Okay, so now we go into this. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay, so my last two ones are my photos and my GPS location. If you hit edit that, hit edit for location. Hit cancel. Go to location and hit edit under location. This is just showing you where you're going to write data. The GPS time, the GPS X-ray, most importantly the lat long, that's where you're going to write these fields, okay? So go ahead and hit a cancel or apply. But this is all work that's done that's still valid. All right? And go into, now, the address. We don't, right now, that's just a free-form typing, isn't it? And the whole idea of this is we don't want a free-form typing. So what we want to do is hit the pull down. No, not for that. Hit cancel. Hit that pull down right there and go into GeoAutoPopulate. Click it on and hit add. Now, go down, move that up. Move it up. Keep hitting the up. And I want to move it all the way up to right under address. Keep going. I want to put it right under address. Okay. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get rid of the address field. And this GeoAutoPopulate field is going to be my new address field. So let's rename this to address. Go over to GeoAutoPopulate and type in address or street address, whatever you want. I leave a space because this is displaying. Okay, now we want to go over to the edit, and this gets a little tricky. But I am taping this, so you guys can go back anytime you want and look at any part of this recording and see how in the heck did Chuck do that. Okay? So I better get it right here. Okay, so what we want to do is, what we're doing is we're going to go when when Joe Field Crew walks out of his truck and he walks up to a meter, he's on a property. He's on that parcel layer. And I want to grab that street address from the meter ID. The closest meter ID, I want to grab that street address from. Okay? And I want to populate this field with it. So let's go down. The map hosting is, the map resources, you guys know this. Hit the pull down. It's the one we just made. And the layer is not bounds, but meters. Okay, how far away do you want to pull meters from? Sure the heck not 500 feet, because that's going to pull in 1 million freaking meters. Let's say, I would say something, boy, 100 feet might be close. But I'd be tempted to say 150 just in case. What do you guys think?
Good.
Okay. All right. Now, the import field. You guys know this. Go hit the pull down. It is street address, address 1. Okay, now let's pretend that there's a bunch of meters that are close to each other. They're like 10 feet apart and there's 6 of them. They'll get a list of those 6 meters because they're too close. They're within 150 feet. So I'm going to get a list to show Joe Field Crew, and I need to show him a list. So the list is going to be the meter, the owner, and maybe the street address. So go down where it has object ID, hit the pull down. No, not that one.
The result.
That one right there. This is the list. He found 6 meters. So show him the meter ID. I would start with the meter ID. Hit add. And then I would add the street address and the owner. Do you think they want to see the facility ID?
I usually show it.
Okay, hit the facility. And you can move those up and down. I was very kind of stringent on what you show first. But move them up. If you want to list them differently,
Okay.
Okay, now they're at that apartment building with 6 meters, and they just got a list of 6 meters, and they want to pick Fred Flintstones. So they can do that because Fred Flintstone's in the list and his name shows. But when they pick it, they're going to get a detailed result. So when they get a detailed result, let's show them some more information. Let's show them the address, the name, the meter ID, the facility ID. What else do we want to show them? The ERT. We might want to show them the ERT. What's the PW type? PW type.
I don't know offhand.
Yeah. But you can always go back and modify this. Okay, so now, that was a little thick, but now what's really neat is when he walks up to a meter, he's only got one street address is going to show, or a list of street addresses if the meters are close enough together. So now we've just done field validation that he can only pick what shows up. Okay? So now street address is done. The other two we want to do is the meter number and the ERT. Let's do them the same way. Hit the pull down at the top and add a GeoPopulate. Hit add. And we might want to do it twice. Just add another one. Go ahead and add the second one right when we're there. And hit add. Now move them up right underneath the meter and the ERT, and we're going to do the same thing. Alright, so let's meter number. Okay, and yeah, cool. Which one you want to do first? Go ahead and hit edit. Alright, so GeoPopulate resource, there you go. Layer is up, we got to get layers. We're not in valves, we're in meters. Yeah. Okay, import that's always, yep, we got to match them. Okay, so I would match object ID and an object ID. It's always safe. No, not the import. Oh, I'm sorry, the import field. You're right. Go ahead and delete that one. I was wrong. And the import field is the meter. You're absolutely right. Go down to meter. Hit add. And the import field is going to be the meter number. That's it. Now we want to do that same stuff. I would pick the same. I would pick this like the same stuff. This is a result field. You should kind of know this by now. So when he gets to the 6 things, okay, and we definitely want to, same stuff again. All right, one more to go. Did we put 150 on the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. God, it sounds like you guys are working back in the garage and somebody's got a hacksaw on a gas main. What is that?
That's the mouse on the table.
Okay. All right, beautiful. So there we go. You might want to delete those. Delete the original. Okay, so now we're field verifying those 3 fields, right?
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Okay, yeah, go ahead and hit apply. Now, you know, one thing I do that I kind of like to do is after I've done a lot of work and saved a lot of stuff, let me show you something. Let me share my desktop just because you're not in the remote machine. Let me, if you don't mind, I'm going to share my desktop a second. I want to show you something. Can you guys see my desktop now?
Yeah.
Okay. So go back to the Freeance server and hit the free. Do you see this on the bottom left?
I'm on screen. Okay.
See the Freeance? Yeah. See the Freeance mobile and the utilities.
Mhm.
I go to export Freeance config, and what this does is it saves all your work. And it saves it to this file. I can put it anywhere I want. That way, you can take, one, it saves all this work, but also you can go into your production server.
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that too.
And import the stuff, so we don't have to freaking do everything all over again.
Okay.
And maybe you just changed, you did some testing on the test server, and all you did was you changed the forms or the map. So I could just come in here and import that stuff and go find my file. And there it is. And that's how you.
I guess I could export the production server too before I.
Yeah. Now the other thing I do also. That's how you import data. Another way to back up your data and be safe is just come into your server. And you see how I have copies and backups? These backups were made, see these backups? They were made by me doing upgrades. When you grab an upgrade and upgrade your app, it'll automatically make a backup of it. But sometimes I'll just come in here and say, hey, make a copy of this and paste it.
Yeah.
You can also do that. That way, if you go in there and muck it up, all you have to do is go in there and just backspace, off the copy to or whatever.
Okay.
So those 2 ways I kind of showed you of backing up data. The import export also lets you bring stuff from test to production.
Okay.
Okay. Stop sharing. Okay, I'm going to make Jason presenter. Okay, so let's go in. Can you share your desktop again?
Sure.
All right, so we should be able to go into the iPad now and go back into the options page. You hit the 3 buttons on the bottom and you get to list maps, and then you go back into back and you hit the option. Tell me when you've saved. And you go back. Tell me when you've saved and you're back in the map.
There.
All right, that was quick. Let me go back into my maps too. Oh, paste. No, I want to go back in the map. Back. Now, you don't have a pencil, do you? On the bottom of the map? No?
No. No.
Okay, so hit the magnifying glass.
Okay.
And now you have hit new. See how you have search new and save searches?
Yes.
Hit the new tab. And it should bring up leaks, right?
Leak inspection.
Yeah. Okay. So hit leak inspection. Did it bring it up?
Yes.
Okay, now, you know, location is all the way at the bottom, isn't it?
Yes.
Here's what we want to do. It may look a little different now. I got my GeoPopulate field showing up, but I can't GeoPopulate until I get my GPS location. So what I want to do is hit location. Go ahead and hit location and hit single point or high accuracy. I don't really care.
And I guess.
Okay, so are you grabbing GPS location now? Guys?
Not yet. Just do single. Yeah.
Do you want me to explain the difference between single and high accuracy and the other ones?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Single, what happens is when you grab a GPS point from a phone, normally it just grabs the next GPS point, and you have no idea how accurate that is. Typically, when you just turn on the GPS, if you guys ever notice, you use Google Maps when you're driving around, and have you noticed when you turn on My Location, that blue bouncing ball, when it first comes up, it may be somewhere where you're not.
Right.
And then it comes to where you are.
Right.
So a lot of times the first GPS is not that accurate. So what we learned is we don't want to just grab a single point because it may not be very accurate. Okay, so we use high accuracy. So while you're standing there filling out the leak survey, the application is grabbing multiple points. And it's processing them, averaging, refining them, and getting more accuracy as you stand there. But if I want to do a GPS point in the middle of an intersection where there's a lot of cars, I don't want to stand out there for 5 minutes and get hit. What I want to do is I want to run out there, grab a single GPS point, and then run back to the curb and fill my form out. So the single GPS point is when I want to go grab a point and then move away from it and fill out my form.
Okay.
High accuracy is if I have the luxury of just standing and filling out the form for a while of where I want to collect the points. So another reason for single GPS point, if I'm driving down the street in my truck and I want to collect, and this wouldn't be for gas leak, and I want to collect like a pothole and I'm driving, I'll hit the single GPS right when I go over the pothole.
Okay.
And then while I'm filling out the form, I'm a mile down the street. Okay? So that's the difference between, and that's probably why I'd want to come down there in person and help train the guys.
Okay.
So that's the difference between high accuracy and single point. What else do we have, Liv? What are the other options? Oh, pick a point on the map, isn't it?
Continuous GPS, high accuracy GPS, and single GPS.
Okay, that's it. Okay. The continuous is, it'll pick the last point before I hit save. So as I'm walking around, when I hit save, it'll grab the last GPS point.
Gotcha.
So they probably always want to use high accuracy. But anyway, you've hit high accuracy, and it's collecting data. Is that correct?
No, we did single GPS.
Okay. What does it have an accuracy reading under the GPS?
2,943 meters.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go back and hit high accuracy.
We get that same value, but in red.
Yeah, but wait a second. Sit there and wait. It's going to try to refine that. As you sit there and wait, it should come down.
Okay.
It depends on how deep you're buried in the building.
Oh, yeah, there it goes. 65.
Did it start to go down?
Yeah, you turned on the Wi-Fi.
Okay, yeah, that helps too. So that's an example of it's starting to get better and better and better accuracy. And what's nice about that is it shows the guys in the field how accurate is my GPS right now. Instead of just flying blind, we let them see it. So what's the accuracy rate now?
65 meters.
Okay. Now, the only trouble with this is, I guarantee now that we've got a GPS reading, we want to go up into like, I don't know, let's go to the street address. If you click on that and say auto-populate, I can't remember what the prompt is exactly, you're not going to find it. I'm sorry, what's that?
It's got an import button.
Yeah, hit the import.
Okay.
There's no meters within 150 feet of where you are. Is that correct?
No, we've got a lot of them.
You got a lot. How would you have a lot?
We've got a lot of them on this building.
Ah, well, great. It works then.
Yeah.
And you would.
Surrounding streets. We're right in the middle of a
Okay.
neighborhood. Yeah. So it's,
Oh, you know what? You know what? Okay, so there's a great example. You pick the one you want. You know why it's showing a lot? I made a mistake. That 150 units is not feet, it's meters. That's why we're going out a football field and a half. That's why you're getting people. That's why you're getting people across the street.
right.
So that's how they pick their meter and their street address. And when 90% of the time, when we go back and change that distance, they're just going to have one show up, and it's just going to default to the closest one, and they won't have to go through and pick all the different ones.
Okay.
You want to go back?
To 50.
Yeah, let's go 50 meters. That's still 100. Yeah, let's go back and change to 50 meters. So let's go into, we want to go into the forms. We want to go into, yep. And we want to go into, hit the auto, yep, you got it.
What were we saying, 50?
50 meters is 150 feet, yeah. Just hit apply. Now okay, so now let's think. Let me think. So now, okay, so the guys go out, and they can also search. Now, if you look at your forms, you see how if you hit search back on your forms, it's just showing you your street address, right? Is that correct? You go back to your iPad.
I went back and saved the data, so I'm waiting.
Okay, saved it, yeah. So now if you go back and search, you'll just see if you hit search, you just go back to meter search, right?
Right.
But, what are the guys going to want to do? They're going to want to search on their leak inspection forms, aren't they? I mean, I want to go back and see, I just did this street. Show me what I did. I want to go back and list the records that I just made today or yesterday. Or let me see the last leak survey on Parish Street 121. So let's help them out a little. Let's put up a search for leak surveys, okay? Are you following me?
Yeah.
Good. Are we running out of gas? Are you guys got a hard stop or anything like that?
I'll have 11 o'clock meeting, but
okay, let's do this. That's good, and we can continue this too. I think let's do this. We'll finish up here. We'll do a search for the leaks, and then let's show it around. And you guys come back to me and say, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and we'll tune it up some more, okay?
Okay.
Because there's a couple other icing on the cake, I'll call it, that I'd like to show you. And we might even, no, let's not do editing, you're right, because we only want, you know what the editing would be good for? If the guys want to redline the map, if they want to go in there and say, boy, you know what, this meter is in the wrong place, or this valve is on the wrong place, or this service line or this main, no, it's on the wrong side of the street. What we could let them do is edit redline layers. What we could do here in Dayton, Ohio, is set up some more layers just for field notes. And then they could draw on the map, and it wouldn't go into John's production stuff. It would go into redlining layers that John could look at and say, I got some information back in the field. This valve's in the wrong place. And then John can move it into production layers. What do you think? Just something to talk to the guys about. How much do they mark up the hard copy maps with stuff being in the wrong place? And would they like to do this on this mobile map? They could draw in a redlining layer, and John could see it and move it over to production, maybe after he verified it. Okay. I'll put together a list of things that this will do beyond that you guys either want to tackle in phase 1 or phase 2. Kind of that icing on the cake stuff. Okay? Alright, let's do this last thing before we run out of daylight. Okay, so I want to do a leak inspection search. I don't want to do a form. I want to do a search. So we've already got our database resource. Hit database resource. And it's leak inspection. Go ahead and click on leak inspection. Okay, so it's just showing us. This is it already. Okay, so hit cancel. So this is a good example. We're using a resource that's already there. Let's hit our predefined query because we need to build a query. And this is going to be leak search. Leak search. Okay, the database resource is leak search, leak inspection. Hit apply. Okay, open up leak inspection. Okay, select all the fields. Okay, now let's do our search. Let's do our SQL. You guys know how to do this. Let's search on street address. Beautiful. I'd hit the like clause. I think we need a like in it. Yeah. Now type in street or address or whatever. Now we know this is uppercase because it's coming from the GIS data. So I would be tempted to hit uppercase and hit add. What else do they want to search on? Earth? And meter number?
Meter number or number, yeah.
A date. I guarantee they're going to want to search on date. You know what? Date, let's make that a separate field because that's a date and we're not going to be able to put it together as a string. Let's make that a separate search. That'd be really cool. Show me leaks that I did yesterday. That'd be really cool. But let's just do it. Addresses and meter number. How about that? Put in the and. And let's put in meter number. Okay. Do we want to test this real quick? Let's test it. Just because I'm a chicken. Now, see, nothing's going to happen. You haven't got that many leaks in there. Leave them both blank. Leave them both blank. And do an execute. You only got one in there. Yeah. See, just type in forest.
I think it wasn't uppercase. Right.
I don't know. Hit result and go look at it. That's why I do it. See, but that, why didn't that work? You know why? Meter number is a numeric. No, it's not. It's a character. Something's not right. Try one more time. Okay. Just type in F.
Oh, I was doing upper. It's making the variable upper. That's the problem.
Oh, we want to take that out.
I don't know, because it's going to be upper when we do real data.
Yeah, but, okay. There you go. Let's add, let's keep going. Hit done. You guys know how to do this. Go ahead and hit apply. Let's not worry about the rest of this. Go ahead and hit apply. Go ahead and hit save. And go into multi-map, multi-platform map config. Multi-plat in the middle. Because that's our mapping. Think of that as our mapping app. That's our mapping app. And I want to add, open up Greer. And I want to add a new form. I want to add the leak, not inspection, but search. We didn't make a form. We didn't make a form for it. Go back into form. And let's call it leak search. Leak search. Predefined query is leak search. Key field. I wouldn't call it address. What's your unique identifier? Meter number? I'd go down to his unique identifier. meter number. That's the key field. I need a unique identifier. Hit apply. And now you're in the form. You guys kind of know how to do this. Go ahead and, what's that?
Should I make a primary key ID field for that?
I don't think you had. Did you have ID field? Hit key field. Hit the pull down. You can change.
Should I add it to the table? Because isn't it possible they could go back to a meter later? I don't think meter number would actually be a key field.
Meter number's not unique?
It is, but is this for the leakage inspection? It needs to be unique? Because they could have, like, you know, I don't know.
Okay. That's fine. Let's go back and change it later. I just kind of want to show you where this comes in. I think you got the idea here. So now I want to put in, hit result form. Those probably look, you know, you want to add or delete the list. Maybe the meter ID, the meter number. Maybe throw in the date would be interesting. When did that happen? Date, something, yeah. Now, hit the zoom to, because they want to zoom to it. And this is where I go, map resource. You know what you haven't got the map resource. You got to get the right one first. Otherwise, the layers won't be right. And this is, oh, you know what? Aha. I have to add something. We can't zoom to this because it's not a layer. I'm going to add the leak surveys because we have GPS point as a layer. We'll do this later. Don't use click off the zoom to. We can't do it yet. Okay. Once you guys start to get leak surveys, I'm going to add them to the map resource. And they'll actually show up as a layer. Isn't that cool? And we'll zoom to them later. Hit the result form.
It's already on there.
Okay, and the details, you know what this does. So just hit apply. I would just hit apply. You can come back on the show.
We can fix it later.
Okay, now go back into multi-platform config. You know your mapping app? That's what we'll call it. And add a smart form. And now you've got a leak search. And your description is you're going to search by address and search for leaks by what address and meter and date. Or we didn't put date in. We're going to put date in on that. Yeah. So now we've added a search so that they can go back and search on leaks, which is really cool because if you set up a leak search that's by date, they can say, show me my leaks yesterday, or show me the leaks that I did on Main Street, or more importantly, I'm clapping my hands because they're going to love this. When they go up to 123 Main Street, they can do a search on 123 Main Street, bring up the last year's leak, or 3 years ago, and clone that record. And then just modify the fields that they want. And that'll be an option too. So I'm going to write up. You guys got a starting point to show the people, here's what we've got so far. And as soon as we hang up here, I'm going to write you an email and say, here's the additional things we can do. We can add a redlining layer. We'll add the leaks to the map so you can identify them and zoom to them, and you can bring up past leaks and clone them for a new record. So now it's the time to, you guys kick this around a little bit, show it to people, get their feedback, and then also show them the list that I'm going to email you and say, plus we could do these things, or we could wait till phase 2. Wow, I'm exhausted.
I can delete gas utility, right?
Hey, you know what? Here's what I would do. I'd leave it up there just, you already deleted it out of the profile. Nobody can bring it up.
Okay.
You might want to leave it up there just for looking at stuff.
Okay, sure.
It's not in the profile. Nobody can bring it up. Okay, so how'd it go today? What do you think?
Much better than last time.
That's not saying a lot. I think you didn't do well last time. Excuse me. Okay.
Looking a lot
Okay, good. I'm just looking for a little more love there, man, Ryan. Okay, so let's show it around. We might have a little more tuning up. Give me about till after lunch to send you an email of, here's some more icing on the cake we could add to this.
Okay.
So the next step is you guys show it around, get some feedback, and we'll probably do another little tune-up session.
All right.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. And as I said, I recorded this whole thing. I'll send you the link to it. God forbid if you're ever that bored where you want to go back and look at this stuff. But what's kind of nice is you can go back to individual parts.
Right.
If you forget how to do geocoding or whatever.
Okay.
All right. Hey, thanks, and just, you guys got my information to call me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Looking forward to seeing what bounces back. Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.